Snarky comments by NBA players are an art form. The players need to have a unique style and the ability to back up their trash talk. Some talkers on the court tend to be quite hilarious, yet others just go for the lowest blow possible. Like true athletes, most are able to dust it off. However, there are some that get burnt pretty bad. Here are the NBA players that shocked the world with these comments. Starting off with Larry Bird. Much of Larry Bird's legendary history is related to his ability on the court and professional achievements, but his harsh talking continues to be a key part of his character. The former Boston Celtics star merely cemented his image behind his skill to pile up the snarky remarks. Bird was not a physical fighter, but he was able to get into his opponents' heads in other ways. He would throw the most brutal remarks at his opponents just so he could have a mental advantage. As a result, the man would be leaving most of his peers pissed or upset. What's more, Bird's unshakable confidence helped him to elevate his game to new heights, giving his in-game banter a critical feature. This one time, he said to Mavs, "I'm gonna stand right here. I'm not gonna move at all. They'll pass me the ball. The next sound you hear will be the ball hitting the bottom of the net." He left Mavs intimidated, even if he wasn't able to back up his claim with a shot. The former Celtic star occupies an irreplaceable role in NBA history, and his famed trash talk stands there together with his skill. Next up, Michael Jordan. Besides being one of the most talented basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan also has a strong urge to intimidate his opponents with his insane thoughts. His criticism wasn't always aimed at the individual, unlike some of the others in the game. This one time, Chris Webber said on the Dan Patrick Show how he once watched Michael Jordan smoking a cigar before a game as if he knew he was going to win. Then, after scoring over 50 points against his opponent without flinching, Jordan arrogantly addressed Webber's squad, "Who's checking me today?" Webber said that to date, all he could think of was just remembering how ruthless he was. When it came to Michael Jordan, he didn't think many people were worthy of talking shit to them, but when he did, it was always short and scarring. The funniest out there was when Larry Bird tried to hit Jordan with an insult which instead backfired. This one time, when one of MJ's dunks was because of Stockton, Bird instantly hit him back by telling him to pick on someone his own size. But even then, Jordan decided to show instead of telling. The man went on to dunk Mel Tuppen, and then said, "Is he big enough for you?" Jordan knew that the secret was to say things that wouldn't just be mean, but ones that could actually shut the other person up. Next, Charles Barkley. This Barkley comment had us all on the floor, clutching our stomachs. Just wait till you hear it. Charles would always come up with the meanest of comments, but this time he surpassed his own derogatory speech levels. What we're talking about is when he decided to insult not just one player, but an entire team in the heat of the moment. He's now a pundit for TNT, as he has taken his talent for talking rough into other fields. Back in the day, when he used to be playing, he would only engage in arguments with the top players. Even the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, couldn't avoid being shunned by time. This attitude and his acerbic wit made him the perfect fit for the now famous "I am not a role model" shoe advertisement. Barkley even had the audacity to call Michael Jordan, who was one of the most accomplished dunkers ever, during the 1999 NBA Finals. In the game against the Phoenix Suns, MJ coached the Chicago Bulls. He wasn't intimidated by the big names in the game, and he was always ready to show it. To MJ and the Chicago Bulls, he said, "We better not be doing the Bulls this year. Man, they suck. Bunch of high school kids with $70 million contracts. Damn, I hate my mother for having me too soon." Moving on, Kobe Bryant. This man knew it all. He knew how to dunk, he knew how to dodge, and he certainly knew how to get in his opponent's minds. Kobe Bryant is among the NBA's most ice-cold remarks. Not convinced? Hear us out. Kobe Bryant's ability to terrify his own teammates sets him different from other big-mouth players. Smush Parker was the first Lakers player to fall victim to the Black Mamba in California between 2005 and 2007. As reported by Kobe in an interview, as in, "Smush Parker? That guy was the worst ever. We couldn't afford a point guard, and he shouldn't have even been in the NBA, so we just waved him on." Fresh off the completion of his rookie season, Kyrie Irving volunteered to face Kobe Bryant in a one-on-one contest during a Team USA practice. The Nets player wanted to place a wager of $50,000 on the game. Kobe laughed at the kid's cheek stupidly, and then pulled the strings that hurt the most. He said, "I know your dad doesn't think you can beat me one-on-one. I know that. I know that. Get your dad on the phone right now. Be like, 'Pops, trying to bet Kobe 50 grand I can beat him one-on-one.' He'd be like, 'Son, are you crazy? Are you crazy?' Yikes." Up next, Kevin Garnett. This is a brutal one, y'all. You might want to sit down for this burn. So KG said, "Your wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios" on the court, and there were gaping mouths all over the world. Here's what happened. According to reports, KG made such comments to Carmelo Anthony regarding his estranged wife, Lala. Compared to other athletes' rough language, Kevin Garnett's was in a league of its own. His physical presence was as menacing. Clearly, this enormous bald person with a perpetual frown was a force to reckon with, but he didn't end it there. KG combined his skill with the messed up comments. One of the most iconic instances instances of KG trash talking was when he sent one to Chuck. Charles Barkley jokes about Kevin Garnett becoming a Hall of Fame member on his TNT show, Area 21. KG, however, did not accept this explanation and cut off Barkley's next sentence by repeatedly shouting "champion," a reference to the fact that Barkley had never won a championship in his professional career. Then he said, "You know, Chuck, you're nearly a champion, borderline champion." And Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce had all of the audience stunned with this line that he made to Kenneth, and not because the people agreed with him, but because of what followed soon after the insult hit Kenneth. As a basketball player, the last item you want to overhear when shooting free throws is someone shouting at you about how valuable you are. That's what Paul Pierce did when Kenneth Faried was shooting for the game-winning goal. While Kenneth was shooting his shot, quite literally, Pierce thought it best to notch up the atmosphere and get in his mind. He said, $60 million. I don't see it with this guy. This insult obviously meant that he couldn't see why Kenneth Faried's worth was valued at around $60 million. And naturally, the insult went straight to Kenneth's head to the point that he couldn't make either of his shots, leading to a loss for his team. While all of these must leave an unforgettable impression on the minds of these players, this particular burn by Paul Pierce was so bad that it caused Faried the game. Gotta give it to the man for his timing. He got exactly what he wanted. We've never seen an insult work this instantly. And finally, Reggie Miller. Well documented and still missed today is Reggie Miller's legendary trash talking. His most famous words were heard during the New York Knicks series. Within the first few games, he had messed up with John Starks by some very cruel remarks. After that, he turned his attention to Spike Lee. When he was done, he gave Spike the universal choke signal. Like all great meanies, Miller matched up his words with his actions in crucial moments. He even said to the Davis boys once that all they do is set screens, but while he makes everything else. In our opinion, the most entertaining aspect of Reggie's big mouth is his attempts to portray himself as the kind of innocent man who would never engage in such behavior during a game. He resembles the kid at pickup who chats non-stop during the movie, and all you want to do is for them to shut up. That was the impact Reggie made on his rivals, by the way. Everyone wanted to fight up the thin guy who was talking the whole game, and with good reason. That's a wrap for this video. Which one of these do you think was the most brutal? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.